Hi, my name is Ashima Ananda, and I have written a book called Charging Your Chakras, a Practical Guide to Chakra Exploration. In the book, I talk about how to put these spinning vortices of energy to work in your life and for you. These are 5-minute videos. I set my timer. And I want to just kind of talk about the chakra system. The book itself is separated into 3 tabs. There's Practicalities, Practices, and Proof. The Practicalities has to do with what they are, what the chakras are, how they're what they're called, what they mean, how they act in our lives, and that sort of thing. There's also a card deck. It is all at ashimaananda.com. I invite you to check out some of the previous videos for a little bit more of a deep dive into the card deck and into the book. Today, though, in our time, I wanted to talk about this concept that I've been hearing about, and that is glimmers. I thought this was a really neat concept. I can't attribute this to anyone. This was something I found online, sort of, well, when do you find things by chance or by coincidence, right? It's probably one of those things I was looking for, but didn't know I was looking for. Anyway, I found this. I don't know who to attribute it to, but I thought it was brilliant and I wanted to share it with you. They're called glimmers, and I'm reading this from my notepad. A term called glimmer is the opposite of a trigger. Glimmers are those moments in your day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, or gratitude. Once you train your brain, the person, I don't know who it was, they go on to say, once you train your brain to be on the lookout for glimmers, these tiny moments will appear more and more. I really liked that because it speaks to what we've been talking about, noticing. When we gather the data, what are we doing? We're noticing. When we design a practice, what are we doing? We're noticing. So what I wanted to talk about today was how glimmers factor in to our practices, especially the practice of gathering the data. So I broke it down into 4 parts. In the chakra system, in the book, this makes a lot of sense, and I did what I did was that's what I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. I'm translating what I just read into the chakra system practices and proof, and what I came up with is a 4-step process. So I have a feeling this is sort of the first of 4 videos about glimmers, and more succinctly about these 4 things. And they are, first, and these are in order. First, there's the noticing, which we just talked about. Noticing the feeling. Because if you don't notice that you're peaceful, joyful, happiness, filled with gratitude, it's not going to work out so well. So it's first the noticing. We bring our attention to it. The second is noticing what was happening in you at the time, not the circumstances. What was happening in you? What was going on in your spirit? What was happening in the chakras as you were either noticing the noticing, feeling the noticing, enjoying the noticing? But let's not confuse the noticing with circumstances. These are not your circumstances you were in that gave you this wonderful feeling. We are noticing what was happening in your body at the time, in your brain, what chakra was engaged. And then number 3, memorizing the feeling. Okay, so number 2 is what was happening in your body. What were you doing? What were you feeling? Not the circumstances, you. And then memorizing. Oh man, okay. I was fill in the blank. I was feeling really grounded at the time. I had just listened to a song that really evokes happy feelings in me, and I was feeling very grounded, and suddenly I noticed. So see where that might go for you. And then the fourth is finding that space regardless of the circumstances. Now that one's tough because when I say regardless of the circumstances, oh my goodness, that was 5 minutes. That one's a little bit tougher because when I say regardless of the circumstances, I do mean regardless. So maybe things weren't going absolutely perfectly, but you were able to access that feeling that you'd memorized. We're going to dive deeper into this, but that is my time for today. Sending positive energy out to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me recognizes, honors, and loves the light in you.